time for questions as well today, and it's going to be great. Okay, so let me make sure that's going, and then we'll get started. Okay. All right. And if there's anyone new today, I would love for you guys to just say a quick hello and welcome yourself. Do we have any new teammates today? No? Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we will get started then. All right. Well, either way, welcome. If you are new, welcome to our Legacy Makers team training and onboarding. Super excited to be here with you. My name is Adrienne Carbonell, and I am going to be going through the basics of how we get started in 3 International today. So with some of you guys, it's you might already know a lot of this. For everybody else, you might be like, it's a new concept, new reminder, new refresher, new take on the onboarding. And so let's dive in together. I'm going to share my screen and we'll get going. Make sure this is there. Today. I knew that was coming. I was waiting for the waiting for the recording to start so we could mute it out. All righty. Okay. All right. So I want to know what your goals are first and foremost. Yes, I'm going to start sharing my screen, but I do want to know if you guys have a specific goal in mind, maybe just the next 30 days. It's your December to remember goals, okay? Something that you guys are like, I must accomplish this in 3. I have this burning desire to accomplish this in 3. Nothing's going to stand in my way. I want to know what that goal is. You guys can put it in the chat or you can write it down. And if you're brand new, that goal might be, I want to learn, how to open up my business in a way that allows me to earn 6 and 7 figures, or I want to learn how to, share the products a little bit better, which really, I'm not going to dive too much into product training today. We have several videos on that. I'll show you where to find, some. And okay, Caroline wants to do 50 cycles, laugh out loud. Why are you laughing, girl? I see it. Okay, I see that in your future. So yeah, so Caroline wants to do 50 cycles. Anyone else have any goals that they have in mind? No? Okay. Well, put them in there or write them down personally as we go through this. And we're going to get started here. So, okay, let me share my screen. Let me know when y'all can see that. Can you guys see my computer screen? Perfect. Thank you, Janet, for the reply. Okay. All right. You should be able to see it. All right. So we're going to jump back to basics. How to get started right in 3. What does this mean for you, right? How are you going to accomplish that goal by using the basics? Good news. In this business, nothing really changes that much. Like we usually just get new exciting tools, things like that. But the basics of what we do doesn't really change that much. If we really dive into how you even got here today, you most likely came on board, you enrolled, you became a brand ambassador for $30. That opens up your account. It's just you're an account holder, okay? Then what you do is you end up placing an initial order. So you place an initial order, it's about 100 CV, it's an intro pack or better. That gets you active, qualified, okay? Active in the business. Then you want to set up SmartShip. SmartShip is anywhere between 60 to 120 CV or better. SmartShip is like Amazon Prime. It's like, I'm sorry, not Prime, Amazon Subscribe and Save. So you save an additional 10%, and it's just a great way to get started. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to enroll your first 2 people. And so we are a binary compensation plan, meaning we build 2 teams of people. We build a left team and a right team, and they work together. The volume works together for you to get paid on. So in order for you to get qualified to earn a 6 and 7 figure income, you must have 1 brand ambassador who places an initial order on SmartShip on your left team and 1 on your right. And so this is honestly, like, I know this is so simple, but it's true. It's just you come on board, you open your account for $30, you activate it, you place an initial order, you set up SmartShip. That is the glue that holds your business together, and you enroll 2 people. So everybody here probably knows 2 people that they're already thinking about, people that could get excited about the products or the income opportunity, or both. And that's really what it's about. If all you ever did was repeat steps 1 through 4 consistently, you would make it, my friends. You would be building an incredible income, an incredible legacy for you and your family. And if all you ever did was repeat and duplicate this process, my goodness, you are in for a treat, because that's really all you're required to do on a consistent basis. I think we go to work to overcomplicate it a lot of times, But the reality is that this is a process that you'll repeat day in and day out. Now, we want to become a qualified brand ambassador, right? So we've got over here, let's say you came on board with a big pack. It's 1,000 PV. PV stands for personal volume. And let's say you brought on Bob with a premium pack and Sue with a business builder, okay? And you've got Bob on your left and Sue on your right, and you're now active, all right? You're qualified and active, which means that when your team hits 600 CV on one side, like Sue has, and 300 CV on the other side, we call that a cycle. So anytime you have 900 CV combined between both of your left and right legs, that's considered what's called a cycle. So Caroline was talking about she wanted to become a professional cycler. She wants to earn 50 cycles, right? So she would have to have enough volume, both left and right, between both left and right legs to have 900. So you would literally take 50 cycles, right? You would divide that out, 900. It would show you the amount of volume you would need just in cycle depth. But it doesn't quite work like that. You want to be flexible in the way that you build, because as people onboard and as people duplicate forward, it's not just your efforts that count. And that's the reason I love a good binary, because Bob might enroll two people and Sue might enroll two people. Most likely they will if you train them appropriately, right? And so you don't know who Bob and Sue know. They might know a rock star. They might know somebody who comes in and blows it up, and you just never know when it's going to happen. You have to know that once you're in, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, okay? Because it is inevitable that you're going to be building cycle depth in your organization, because there is no other way. So when you have a happy 10, when you have 10 active brand partners and or customers, it can be a combination of both. Every 4 weeks, we call that what's called happy 10, which means instead of earning $35 per cycle, you're now earning $45 per cycle. So you don't need a huge team. You need momentum. You need activity and action. Okay. You need to know that this is leveraged income. This is where the leveraged income kicks in. So in the binary, in the team commissions, this is where the leveraged income kicks in. It's not just based on your efforts, it's based on those of who you bring on board as well, and how you help them duplicate and train. Okay. So in here you can earn up to 500 cycles a week just with two people. That's about 27,000 per week. So right there, you guys, that's about 1.4 million a year. So if I were to go talk to somebody and strictly talk to them about the business opportunity that we have here at 3, I would say, have you ever thought about earning a 6 or 7-figure income from the comfort of your home online in e-commerce? And they might be like, well, what are you talking about? And you're like, well, every single person I onboard into my business that gets active and qualified has a business center that is valued at 1.4 million per year. It can be built to that, right? Up to 27,000 per week. You guys, most people in their 9-to-5 job do not have that opportunity. They're not the CEO, they're not the owner, they're, the manager or the employee or the, 9-to-5er, and they don't have the opportunity to earn up to $27,000 per week. So what you're really offering them is a leg up. You're offering them a way to build leverage through an online business. Okay, so that is a huge selling point, wouldn't you say? Okay, so let's get back to basics. They're like, well, who do we talk to? I'm so excited. I need to enroll 2 people, right? Like right away, like in the next 24 to 48 hours. I always say, just do it. Call people and say, I'm so excited about this thing. I don't even know what I'm talking about yet. All I know is I'm going to send you a quick link. If you get excited, you can partner with me here too. And we can, together we could earn a fortune, however you want to put that out there to them. I'm looking for people to partner with me in my business. So we got to make a list. Right? We've got to be able to track our success. Now, as a personal trainer of 2 decades, I can tell you that my clients who got the best results were tracking them. They were tracking, they were measuring, they were weighing, they were, making sure they got into the gym that day, making sure they weren't overeating, things like that. So they're tracking their results. Okay, so we have 2 tracker forms. You can scan this QR code. It goes straight to our team website. We have a beautiful team website called ourlegacymakers.com. And if you scan that, it's going to take you straight to this PDF. Okay. So this is my favorite tracker form. It's called Level Up Your Success. It's going to help you reach out to your first 30 people. Okay. So ideally, my recommendation after 16 years in this industry, I would recommend you reach out to 100, but we're going to start with your first 30. Okay, so you're going to open up this link, you're going to get in there, and you're going to start writing. It's going to ask you to connect with 30 people. So go through your cell phone, right? It's like, who do you know? Your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins. Who are people that you know, like, and trust? Because those two positions in your organization are kind of like prime real estate. You want to put people in that you can count on, right? You want to put people in that you know will stay active so that you're never worried about whether you're receiving your commissions, right? So maybe you put in your kids if they're over 18, maybe you put in a significant other, maybe you put in your spouse, you put in your sister, somebody who you know is going to continuously order and help support you and love the products and be a raving fan, right? So those are the people I'd put in those two top spots. But out of the 30, you want to ask yourself, who do I know that's organized? Who do I know that desires to be healthier? Who do I know that has a great business mind? Who do I know that's well connected? They have large networks of people. It's not just about who you know, it's about who they know. It's not even about them, it's who do they know, right? Who do you know that, you guys, the sky's the limit. And there's a memory jogger a part of that. So once you download this form and you start writing and tracking and putting down the names, now we're going to go to work to connect with them. Okay, so you'll scan that. Let's talk for a second about connecting, inviting, and presenting. It's the way that this works. We are always connecting, inviting, and presenting. Connection is different from an invite, right? A connection is like, hey, Janet, it's Adrienne. Haven't talked to you in a while. How are you? That's a connect, okay? And if you really haven't talked to them in a long time, it might be something like, hey, Janet, it's been forever. Yes, I'm reaching out to you for a reason, but first and foremost, how are you? Okay? So if you want to tee them up, I'm reaching out to you for a reason, but first, how are you? That's probably my favorite way to connect. It is like the one-liner I consistently use. It was just my birthday yesterday and I had like 300 messages and I'm going through and I'm doing that. I'm sending them private messages and just saying, hey, Bobby, so great to hear from you. Thank you for wishing me a happy birthday. How are you? Right? I just simply reaching out. That's not an invite. An invite is very different. An invite is like, hey, Janet, I told you I was reaching out to you for a reason, and I really value your opinion. And I've recently partnered with this new proactive wellness company. It's an online e-commerce business, and each business center, is worth 1.4 million a year. And I'm looking for people who are well connected like yourself to partner with. Would you be open to taking a look? Like if I sent you a link to our most recent presentation, would you be open to taking a look? That's an invite, right? Okay. So, all right. It's also being shared live. Okay. Present. To present would be a couple different ways to skin this cat. Okay. So to present is I'm going to send a pre-recorded presentation. I like to send a full presentation. If I wanted to get somebody excited about the products, I may just send them a quick link from my app from Dr. Dan or something like that. But I don't want just that. I want to get them excited about the fullness of the opportunity. I'd rather get a no on that than never ask, right? So I like to send a full presentation and then schedule a time to follow up immediately. In fact, I don't even send the link until I've got the time scheduled to follow up. So the fortune is in the follow-up. So actually, you know what? Let me go back real quickly. Okay. So when it comes to connecting and inviting, let me stop sharing for a second and share something else. I'm going to open up the internet. Okay. So let's see here. Here we go. Oh, let me stop sharing. Okay, here we go. If we come over to our Legacy Makers website, okay, you're going to go to business training, and this is our 5-point recruiting system. And this has built several 6- and 7-figure earners. Why not you? So on the beginning of this call, I asked you your goal. We're going through a system overview right now. We talked about becoming qualified brand ambassador, right? That's number one, getting one on your left, one on your right. I like to do this within the first 72 hours because if you get 3, let's say you do more than 1, you're going to become what's called core 3 and earn an additional bonus from the company. And then here is those names list. Names list, share your story, connecting and inviting. Well, if we click on connecting and inviting, it's going to take you to a page called Scripts for Success. And in here, I always like to dive into virtual launch or business approach. Those are my favorites. If I haven't reached out to somebody in a long time, I would use Carpe Diem. Also, the landing page invite is really lovely. So let's click on this for a second. So if I were to click on this landing page, it says, dear, and whoever you're looking at, hi, my name is, I'm reaching out. Okay, this would be more if you're sending an email. That's more of an email to send to people. And then this one, and you guys, there's just so much on here. You kind of need to pick your path and what you feel works best for you. Again, I like to just approach them with the, hey, if I sent you a link, would you take a look? And that is either one of these. So let's click on the virtual launch. So let's say you're inviting them onto one of our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night calls. Okay. You would say something like, hey, hope you're doing well. I'm reaching out because I recently partnered with a new proactive wellness company. I think you're the perfect person to take a look at what I'm doing now because now am I going to send, I might start with this. Hey, hope you're doing well. Hey, I'm reaching out for a reason. This might be text one, voice text one, voice text two when they respond, voice text three, right? Um, Whatever their thing is. And then you would go into, I would do this part all together, right? So I would say, I think you're the perfect person to take a look at what I'm doing now because I know you love cutting edge wellness and you've got a great business mind. I'm hosting an online showcase on Thursday at 7 p.m. Central. If I sent you a link to listen in, would you be open to taking a look for me? How many of those do you think you can send in an hour? Right? I mean, and so for me, like I don't want to be spammy, but I'm very intentional about, taking these first two steps seriously as well. And some people might be like, that's so slow. Well, it could be a little slow, but also I know that my business is built on genuine connections and I'm looking to, really make connections. And so as I'm reaching out to people, I might slow that piece down, right? Where I'm reaching out to you for a reason, but first and foremost, how are you? Or I'm reaching out because I recently partnered with a new proactive wellness company. I was thinking about you, you might go into this, whatever your flow is, and each person, each name on your list is going to be a little bit different. Each of those 30. I want you to trust your instincts. I want you to work from inspiration, not desperation. When you get desperate, you're going to spam people. When you get desperate, you're going to move too quickly. You're going to, probably make some mistakes, and that's okay. We can always clean up the mess. But what we can't do is go back and, try to fix burned bridges if you're just consistently spamming people. So don't be that guy or girl. Be intentional about what you think they're interested in and why you thought of them. The most important piece is why you thought of them, right? Giving them a genuine compliment, being present in that messaging with them. Hey, hey Bobby, hope you're doing well. I'm reaching out to you for a reason because I recently partnered with this new proactive wellness company. I wanted to share it with you. I think you're the perfect person to take a look. But first and foremost, how are you? You could also do it that way. Because if you're voicing this and they can hear the inflection and the tone, then you're really not spamming people. You're making a genuine connection, right? When you're sending all of that in one long text, and I'm sure you guys have all received those at some point where you get this huge long text, in your inbox on Messenger or something like that. And you're like, oh my gosh, like, ugh, it just feels gross. Especially with Black Friday and everything that's happening with Black Friday deals right now. Ours goes until December 1st, till Monday. So you don't want to jump in. You want to be promoting it, but you don't want to connect with that intent right away. You can, but you got to do it carefully. Okay. So just make sure you're not overdoing the connection and the inviting. Okay. So if we were to piece this out, in this case, you're still connecting, right? And in this case, you're actually inviting. So the invite is, if I sent you a link to listen in, would you be open to taking a look for me, right? Okay. So now I just got asked what was the most recent call I did, and I think it's here. I'll put it in the chat, but I sent this out, and I sent this to a couple guys that are getting reignited right now in the business, and they love it. They're like, oh my gosh, this is so good. So we're going to go to Legacy Makers team, sorry. Legacy Makers team, okay. And we're going to click here with the little icon, our team icon. You can see we're recording right now. And then I think it's a live. So if we go into lives, it was a little bit ago, but let me find it for you and I'll put it in there because I think it's worth sharing. To do, nope. Gosh, we do a lot of lives, don't we, friends? Yep, a lot. Why three? Why now? It's a little longer. It's 39 minutes. It's not 10 minutes. All right. Well, but they did like it. So and it doesn't really matter how much of it they get into. Does that make sense? Like they'll receive something out of that. And so you would maybe send this pre-recorded link, but not until they book a time to follow up with you. Okay. So what I would do is if I sent you a link to take a look, would you open, or if I sent you a link to take a look, or would you take a look for me? Right. And then might be like, well, when is it? How long is it? What is it? The link is going to do all the explaining. It'll be about 30-ish minutes of your time. You can always make it a little bit faster. You can speed it up on YouTube. But maybe what I would do is just say, when do you think you'd have 30 minutes to take a look? And then once they tell you when they'd have 30 minutes to take a look, then you're going to send them that link at that time. And you're going to say, is it okay if I call you right after? Okay. So you're going to call them right after. Now, if you start doing 10 reach outs a day for your 30, you're going to go through 30 names in 3 days, right? And then what's going to happen? You're going to start building a funnel. You're going to start building a pipeline of people who are interested, who have maybe semi taken a look at what we do, right? And so you're diving into the work. This is where this is where the real work begins, is you're going to start from there. They're going to have seen something. They're going to get excited. You're going to do follow-up calls. Well, now you got to start booking follow-up calls with your business partner, right? Whoever onboarded you. I don't like to do follow-up calls by myself most days. I like to have other people on with me just because it brings in third-party credibility, which is a lot of what we lack in the beginning when we're first building this type of a business, is you're looking to be credible, right? Especially if you're reaching out. So if I call my mom and I say, Mom, I'm starting this business and I need you to, get started and take a look and all that, she's probably going to be like, well, what is it? And she's going to ask me 20 questions. And I'm going to be like, you know what, Mom, it'd probably be better if I got you on the phone with my business partner, Kimberly. When would we have a few minutes to chat? Why? Because my mom, even though she knows, likes, and trusts me, right? She knows me. She also needs to hear from somebody else. She needs to hear that this is like a serious opportunity from somebody besides me, right? Same thing with your sister, same thing with your best friend who owns a spa, same thing with, you want to be able to, um, you want to be able to have a third party credibility on there with you. And I know it's scary at first. I remember the first time I turned my list over to my first mentor, I said, here's my 30 names. I've already reached out to 10 today. We've got 5 booked, 5 appointments booked. Which calls can you get on with me? Right. And so they couldn't make it to all of them, but they made it to a lot of them. And every single time we jumped on that follow-up call together, they enrolled because it was 2 to 1 and we were both able to answer questions. And I was learning how to close in the process. I was learning how to get them started in the process. Okay. So that's what's beautiful about that. Okay, so you have that presentation, great shareable presentation. Of course, there's others. I know you might have a favorite one. I know that Holly and Corbin have a really good one. So those are all fun. Okay, so team scripts. There's a business approach script. I'm just going to kind of briefly go through this. I don't want to take too much of your time. This, I believe, George has revamped currently. We do have a landing page called 3launch.com. I believe it's been updated. You're welcome to check it out. Well, let's check it out together. Let me see if it's still active. 3launch.com. Okay. I like to send full presentations again. Okay, so yes, George has updated it. We have the introduction. There's an About Us section, our leadership. If they go to the next page, it's going to have Samson and I doing an overview on the business and why 3 International right now. This talks a lot about being in AI and how that's changing everything right now. Top Minds United by a Mission. The next page is the science. Now, this is a really beautiful system, and you might say, I've got this new landing page. I'd love for you to check it out. Make sure you get through the first 2 pages of it, right? Here's the product family manufacturing. George did a great job on this. And then you come in here and it's going to talk more about the wellness journey, okay? What the products mean, the science behind them. This is a lot of pages. We probably should shorten this up. Then we've got the compensation, how to become an affiliate. So George is going to talk about how to make money. And then it just simply turns it back over to you. Connect with the person that sent you to this link for detailed information on how you can join us. All right. And we'll bring these copyrights up. Okay. Alrighty. So that's that. So that would be that one. If you want like a full step-by-step walk them through, that would be really great for a business-minded person and somebody who's willing to dive in and take the time, right? I love this. I believe this is an opportunity of a lifetime. This script was written to give you words, powerful words, even if you just grabbed a couple of those. I've never had the opportunity to work in the ground floor space. What's even better is there's massive opportunity to build an online platform like never before. You guys, it sounds so hypey. You don't need all of it. You just need some of it. You need to take some of those hype words and make them your own. And like that's the kind of passion you need to have when you're reaching out to people, right? I've never seen anything like this before. I say that a lot. I've never seen anything like this before. And they're like, whoa, what does she mean by that? You know, listen, Kyle, I could not wait to reach out to you. Right? I mean, that's different. That's different from like, hey, Bob, how are you? Right? Oh my gosh, Kyle, I could not wait to reach out to you. Do you have a few minutes to chat today? There's something I want to share with you. Oh my
Yes, of
gosh.
course I
I
do.
Of course she does. Of course she does, right? That's a different intention. So you can use these scripts and you can go faster, faster. How you approach is how you approach, right? And a lot of times I'll sit back and people will say, oh, gosh, I'm not making the money I want to make yet, or I don't have the team that I desire yet, or I'm not, doing this many cycles yet, or whatever. I'm like, what are you doing every day that you're intentionally building? You're working through inspiration. You're inspiring people to take a look at your massive opportunity, right? So a lot of times it's in your verbiage, it's in your energy and your verbiage because your energy precedes you. So coming in really calm, collected, but inspired and like so excited to build this. That's a different energy. And you're not just reaching out for the products, you're literally getting people pumped up to take a look at the fullness of your opportunity. And I promise you guys, once you really dive into that, and I mean, yeah, you can talk about the products and gain a ton of customers, and you might even get some business builders, but you're going to be consistently having to do that, flip that over and over and over. Once you get 5 to 6 really good business builders underneath you, it's game over. Okay? So just remember that. Okay, now let's dive back over here. Where was I? Let's get back on track. Okay, does anyone have any questions about connecting, inviting, or presenting? Does everyone know how to send a link from their app, their 3 app? Yes? Okay, so super simple. The app is, you want to make sure you download 3 International, the app, you come in, it's the same login as your back office, and you dive in there and you start, just clicking on stuff, get familiar with it, click on the links, get excited about it. Um, it's a great tool. So I use it mainly when I'm trying to coach people on the products. I, um, I don't really train on the products anymore. I just send links from my app. Okay. And the reason that is if I always say, don't be a fool, use a tool. Because if you can save yourself time, that means you can get on to talking to the next person. All right. So the fortune is in the follow-up. We're going to talk about follow-up and a call continuum. So it's you reach out and tell. And I love that call continuum because I feel like what happens is people get excited because they know that you're not giving up on them, even though they've told you no a bunch of times. So I look at that differently than most people. When people say no to me, it means KNOW. I don't know enough to say no to you. So I'm saying no right now. It's a no for now, but not forever. So call continuum means I will call them until. I will be Kyle's friend forever. I will be Janet's friend forever. I'll be Bobby's friend forever. I don't care if I just met him off LinkedIn, right? Hey Rachel, how are you? Hey Sue, how are you? Hey Kimberly, how are you? Hey, how's it going now? What's new with you? What's new with you? The best leaders have a Rolodex of names being held somewhere, whether it's online, whether it's a written list. They have a Rolodex of names of people that they just simply haven't given up on, that they reach out, they connect. When I talk about being a connector, I mean in your core, you're a connector, right? How are you doing now? I just reached out to a gal the other day and she said, oh, I just got laid off. Oh, how does that feel right before Christmas, right? So we're talking right now and we have a Zoom scheduled. So, I mean, you guys, you never know, right? I said, well, I might have something for you. I don't know if this is for you. And I know you're in a sensitive time in your life, but would you be open to taking a look? Do you hear the genuine? That's from me, my heart, my being genuine. Be real with people. The scripts are there as a guideline, a gentle guide. Okay. And until you get really good, use the scripts because they'll turn you into a master. And remember, every master was once a disaster. Okay, so first touch with every 24 to 48 hours within 20. So if I send that pre-recorded video of myself to somebody or somebody else speaking or whatever, I'm going to follow up right after. I'm going to attempt to follow up. Like if I send the link to them and I see that they clicked on it or, whatever, I'm going to follow up within 30 minutes anyways and be like, hey, is now a good time to call you? Well, I just jumped in the car. It's not, but I did watch the video. Great. What did you like most about it? What else did you like? When can we jump on a quick follow-up call? There's something more I want to share with you. When can we jump on a quick follow-up call? There's something more I want to share with you. Okay. The reason I say that is because that could be in 2 days. It could be in 2 weeks. It could take 3 to 11 times to follow up. Right. But leaders always lead with additional information. Does that make sense? So like if I go into follow up with somebody I've talked to 11 times and be like, you know what? I don't know if I ever sent you a link about this kinetic. I think this product might benefit you. Let me send you a quick link. Right? So you're dripping, 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 dripping until they have so much knowledge and information around it, or they trust you because you've not left them alone, that they're ready. So for those of you guys, I just keep reaching out. Great. Keep reaching out. It is never a wasted effort. Never a wasted effort. I always like equate this to like an ex-boyfriend or something, an ex-boyfriend or an ex-girlfriend. Was it wasted time or effort? No, because there was love shared, right? So it's never wasted. But you can check in. How are you now? How's everything going now? That doesn't mean you have an emotional tie or attachment. It just means, how are you? What's new? What's changed? What are you looking forward to? Is there anything I can do for you? Right? I mean, it's a different vibe. Okay. Coffee is for closers. I should say kinetic. Kinetic is for closers. Okay. So you want to ask these questions. We just went through this. What did you like? What else did you like? So you can take a screenshot of this. Do you feel like you have enough information to get started today? I can't tell you how important and how helpful that question has been for me, because I think I avoided objections or what were perceived objections in the beginning when I was first getting started because I was afraid I wouldn't know how to answer them, which is why you want to do follow-up with your team leader, right? In the first 30 calls, at least. You do 30 calls and 30 closes with a follow-up leader, and your business is never going to look the same. You're going to be making so much money. If you intentionally connect with 30 and you do 30 follow-up calls as well, like, hey, I've got to get you on with my business partner, Adrian. Hey, I've got to get you on with my business partner, George. I've got to get you on with my business partner, Kyle, whatever, right? You guys, you get them on with a third party. Woo! Do 30 follow-up calls. We often focus on the connection. Do 30 follow-up calls. See if you can get 30 people you've already introduced onto a call with a pro, with somebody who knows, and you will learn more than you've ever thought possible, and your business will grow. I love this one. What interests you the most? The products, the income, or both? If I could show you a way to get blank, right? Healthier, more money, more freedom, and a free all expense paid trip, would you be opposed to getting started today? Probably not, right? So that's a good one. Okay, take the order. I cannot stress this enough. Sometimes you guys you keep talking instead of saying, where would you like your product shipped? Can I help you open your account now? What card will you be using today? What's the address? What's your shipping address? Which pack interested you the most? Oh, you don't think you can afford the business builder pack? How come? Well, do you think you have enough people that if we brought 7 to 8 people on board with that pack and they got started, do you think that it would be okay if the company paid you the $2,800 back? There's your ROI. Who do you know, right? How can I help you get started today? Take the order. What products do you want? Why? They'll come to you in 3 to 5 business days. Oops, I don't know what happened there. Okay, we've got this is over. Congratulations to those that earned the cruise. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, congrats. Way to go. Way to kick it. All right, let's talk a little bit about business for a second. We've gone over the basics already. So the basics are what? Understanding that everything rises and falls on duplication, understanding that the only process we duplicate over and over and over again is connecting, inviting, presenting, following up, and enrolling. So when we enroll somebody, they come on for $30. They place an initial order, 100 CV, an intro pack or greater. They get SmartShip set up. It's the glue that holds their business together. And then they enroll 2 people, right? So that is the basics. All right, now let's talk about building it big. Why three? Why now? And this is something that I'm very, very passionate about, very excited about. You want to become a 3-star. The 3-star is just a fancy name for the amount of money you make. But if you guys go through a tracker form 30, like if you're brand new and you're watching this and you're like, okay, I'm going to do this tracker form 30. I'm going to write down 30 names of people I know, like, and trust, or that I think are business minded. I'm going to connect with them using the scripts. 15 are going to say yes to taking a look at the business. I'm going to send them a pre-recorded link and or get them on a live and or get them on a one-on-one or get them to the next local event, whatever the presentation is for that person. Do it. And then 6 people will get started. Well, guess what? 3-star is 6 people, 3 on your left team, 3 on your right team, that total 1,800 on each side for a total of 3,600, what we call PGV, which means your entire group volume between both legs, personal group volume. So you've got you're already done, you're cooked, right? You now have 3 people on your left and 3 people on your right. And let's say they recruit a few people. Doesn't matter which packs they come on board with as long as you meet those requirements. 800 CV on the left, 1800 CV on the left, 1800 on the right, total of 600, 900 at least minimum left and right, no more than 600 PV per person. So know the packs, check out the enrollment form, look at the packs, because when people come on board with the Pro Collection, it's 1,000 CV, but only 600 counts towards this specific rank, this 3-star requirement. Now, 3-star is the foundation. It's the beginning. It is not the end. It is the beginning foundation on your journey to 6 and 7 figures. That's why it's so key and so important to help build out a balanced base of individuals in your organization that are consistently ordering on SmartShip. Okay. So the 3-star requirements, 3,600 PGV, that's everybody between left and right leg. No more than 600 per person. So if they come with the Pro Collection, 1,000 CV is what the Pro Collection is worth. 600 only counts towards this rank. What happens to the extra volume, by the way? It flows down for you to get paid on again. It still counts. It just doesn't count towards this specific rank because the company wants you recruiting more than 2 people, right? They want you bringing on more than 2 business partners. So that's why this is so key. Okay, that's 3-star. So I want to talk for a second about the different personality types and kind of how to build what we call a board of directors. So you've got 6 people on there, right? And I know you guys have heard this before, but we're looking for D's and I's. And D's and I's, D's are dominant, I's are influencers. So when you go write out those 30 names on your names list, I really want you to consider the personality type. Okay. All right. So when you look at the D's and I's, the dominant ones, they want results and they want control. They're decisive, they're direct, they're confident, and they're competitive with themselves, hopefully, but competitive. Okay. And you'll know because how they communicate is they want everything quick, to the point, they want efficiency. Okay. So it could be a red personality if you're familiar with the personality types, but that's how you're going to know. They're going to be like, okay, let's go, let's win. Don't slow me down. Get out of my way. Da, 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 right? They want to drive momentum. So how many of those do you want on your team, on your board of directors? You want a lot. And let me just tell you, if you come at them slow and steady, you want to be calm, but you want to get the information out to as soon as possible. If I had somebody on my list that was a D that I knew would make a difference in my business, I would get them on with my team leader. I wouldn't even mess around. I'd be like, hey, I just started this new business. You're the perfect person to take a look because you are just so confident and you know tons of people. And I'm just know that you would make a huge difference here. You can help a lot of people. So could you meet with my team leader, or meet with my business mentor on a quick Zoom call this week? Like, when can I get you on a Zoom call this week with my business partner? Right? I don't have time, Adrian. Oh my gosh, I'm so busy. I'm running four businesses. That's okay. I understand. I'm not looking for people who have time. I'm looking for people who don't have time because I know that you're busy being connected, staying connected and doing stuff. You're results driven, right? Just give me 30 minutes of your time. When can you give me 30 minutes of your time? Meet them with the same intensity. I promise it'll be worth it. Okay. The eyes, influencers, right? People that they love people, they're very positive, they're very social, they're enthusiastic, they're persuasive, they're expressive, they're friendly, they're energetic, they're story driven. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, let me tell you what happened to me. What do you mean? I started taking these products, I feel like $1 million, and all of a sudden I realized that each business center is like worth 1.4 million, and I'm looking for people to partner with. When can I get you on a quick call with my business mentor? Right? I mean, these are very direct ways to reach out, but those D's and I's are who you want. And I know you guys have probably seen Christine do this before, but when she draws the table, like a boardroom table, she puts 10 spots around the table. Why? Happy 10. We're looking for 10 board of directors. Okay, 10 board of directors. So the 6 is just the beginning, right? You need 4 more. So you want to keep going. And a lot of you guys will enroll and you'll recruit people, and they might be more of an S or a C. They might be more steady. They're more into harmony and support. They're patient. They're loyal. We love our good customers. We love loyal customers. They're warm. They're steady, reassuring. Maybe they're conscientious. They're like, oh, I just love giving back. I want to make sure every time I order products, I'm also donating to Love 3, right? They're very analytical, detail oriented, very clear, structured, fact based, but they're not necessarily going to drive, they're not necessarily going to behave like a board of director. Okay. So you want to make sure you're working with people who are driven. All right. So there you go. Build your board of directors. I would just encourage you to know that. And you're going to build belief with events. So the next event that we have, you guys, is actually, we're done with that. This right here. So if you're brand new on here and you want money, you want to be happier, you want to be healthier, you're going to make this event a priority. You are. Okay. Because if you were to come sit down with me today and we jumped on a call and I went through some basics with you, this would be a part of that, because I know that for every single person that comes and attends an event, that they're going to get the A to Z on how to build this business, and you're going to be that much more successful. You're going to be rubbing shoulders with people who are doing it. You're going to be connected with other team leaders, all right, other brand ambassadors who are building income and building a base. And so you absolutely do not want to miss January 9th to the 11th, 2026 at the Omni Hotel Fort Worth. Make sure you book your plane tickets. I don't care what it takes. Find the babysitter, find the person that can help you get to this event, because if you're serious, and see, that's the difference. If you're serious about building a 6 and 7 figure income, you won't miss this event, because that's what leaders do. Leaders show up and they don't come alone. So as you're working through your next 30 names list, you have 30 days roughly through December to bring on 6 new people. Where should those six to 10 people be? Your new board of directors, where should they be with you? They should be at the leadership conference. Because the more people that you get in that room, every single person that's in that room is worth an extra $1,000 to you in the next 90 days. Because they're learning, they're developing their skill set, they're getting the A to Z on building the business. So that would be the purpose. If there was one thing I could really guide you towards right now and right before we go into, it's the 29th of November. Monday's December 1st. It's a brand new month. It's a brand new you. Start fresh. Go through those 30 names with the intent to enroll and recruit 6. Now, you must recruit 6 out of the 30. You've got to enroll them. If you've run through a tracker form 30 before and you don't have a team of people to work with, there is something in your verbiage, in your language, in your system that's not consistent with you actually attaining business partners. Maybe you have a few people joining for the product, but and that's okay. Some people join for the product. I would say 90% of people join for the product. Those 10 board of directors, it's like trying to, look through a needle in a haystack. You know what I'm saying? So just know the difference, but keep recruiting no matter what, and get to this event. Do not show up alone. Come, but don't show up alone. If you can, you have time to build to this to get as many people as you can in that room. Okay. We can't wait to see you at the next event. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. I want to take any questions, comments, questions, concerns about getting started. Thank you for putting these next events in there, Kimberly. Appreciate that. The next event is always the best event. Okay, yeah, Caroline, go ahead.
Yeah, so I have a question. I know we need to get people on auto ship, and that's really important for the glue of our business, but I'm running into the fact that everybody goes, I don't want to be on auto ship.
Why
But
is it a
people,
discussion?
I know, but then when they get it, then they say, I want to stop these products because I have too many of them because they're not using them.
Well, so we have a problem that they don't know how to use the products. They haven't been properly trained, and they're not invested.
Mm-hmm.
So, like when you're having a conversation with somebody and they get excited about actually using the products and building a business, that typically is you won't even get that question anymore, Caroline. People will be like, "I got it." Like especially if they understand the business. SmartShip is the rent in your business, right? It's one box of Eternal.
Actually, that's the right wording right there. It's a rent of your business.
Yeah. So
Okay.
when I'm training and teaching somebody what SmartShip really means, SmartShip is the rent in your business. It's what keeps you active and eligible to be able to earn those commissions, right? Why would our company pay you any amount of commissions if you weren't actively using at least one of our products? Right? So I always put people on for one box of Eternal. When I talk about SmartShip, I tell them, I say SmartShip is the glue that holds your business together. You're going to receive this product every 4 weeks. It can be changed, edited, and customized at any time. But if you really want to earn income, you must be on SmartShip. Plus, you're going to save an extra 10%. So that's my verbiage around it. But yeah, I mean, it's not even like it's not even it's just so much a part of how I onboard somebody or how I close somebody that I don't even think about that. I don't really get that all the time. If they want to turn off SmartShip, it's usually because they never saw the value in the first place. So just know you're working with a customer, like a one and done customer, not a lifelong customer. They're not even an S and a C. They're just like, thanks for letting me try the product. Like, it's like that. So just know that's the type of person you're working with. So that's why I love leading with the business and the opportunity because I feel like you have such uh, you have a stronger base because they have the fullness of the information, right?
Yep.
So that's what I would say to that. What other questions do you guys have? That was a really good question, Caroline. Thanks for asking that because I do think it's what in the beginning what a lot of people come up against. Yeah. Anybody else?
Hey, Adrian, it's Kyle. How are you?
Hi. How are you?
I know I've probably heard this answer a million times, but just maybe one more time. Oh, that's a pyramid scheme, and I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, that's so funny. Oh my gosh, it's been like a decade since somebody's asked me that.
I,
Um, Again, I think what is a pyramid scheme, right? And so one thing I would say to them is I would say, what does that mean to you? What do you mean by that? Now that's if you really want to educate them. Otherwise, you
hmm
could just say, oh, I'm so glad we're not that. We're not a pyramid scheme. I don't know what you think a pyramid scheme is, but that's not us. We actually have a viable product and a viable opportunity, and
hmm
people are getting paid. So, I think it's funny because I always actually that's honestly there's a story behind that question. So I always say, well, what do you mean by that?
Right.
Uh-huh. So yeah, because most likely they haven't been challenged on that question either, right? So you just turning it around and saying pyramid scheme, what do you mean by that? I want to know what their definition is. Does that mean they tried Amway back in the day or their uncle did and they never made any money and so now all companies that, are that look and even smell like this are now a pyramid scheme? Well, no. I'm so glad we're not that. Wow.
Right.
Sounds like
Yeah.
an awful experience for your uncle. I'm so glad that's not us.
Yeah. And Kimberly just said most older people do say that, and that's true.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah. Uh-huh.
thank you.
Yeah. So, that's a good question. Yeah, thanks for asking that. Any other questions, you guys?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have a gentleman that I have shown him how he can earn the money and how he can make the money. And he keeps saying me, I have enough money. I am not getting into that. I just want to try the products.
Great. Where do you want your product shipped? What's your credit card? Do you want the business builder pack since money's not an issue? Let's get you as much money, let's get you as much product as possible because you'll be active with an asset for an entire year. And during that time, as you grow into loving our product, I'm sure you'll want to share it with a few people. So might as well go big or go home.
Yeah, I tried to show him the pack and how he would save money, but he didn't buy it. I still can't get him to understand that he's wasting more money every month
Mm.
instead of saving money.
Yeah. Well, then he's just not as intelligent as you perceived him to be. So, honestly, I
Okay.
would just say he's not on your wavelength, right? And a lot of times, you guys, when you get in a flow of all of this and like everything just starts rolling off your tongue because you've done 30 follow-ups and all that kind of stuff with a mentor, like you're going to know the difference right away and it's not going to bug you
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
You're going to be
Okay.
like, cool, cool. Let me know if you have some other rich friends that would see the value in having an online business with an asset. Each distribution center is worth 1.4 million a year. If that's not exciting to you, I don't know what is.
And he just bought a motorcycle. So he's got money.
Okay, well,
Thank
we
you,
don't have a
Adrian.
crystal ball. We can't judge
Thank
people.
you.
Like people, they afford what they want to, and honestly, they afford what they want to. But as your frequency, your energy and your frequency rise, some of the people that you think would be the most attracted to this just aren't because you're just not connecting on the same energy. Does that make sense? So like we are all
Yes.
energy. Okay. So, and that's why I always say this, your energy precedes you. Now, if we're talking about sales, because we're in sales, and there's a great book on it called, one of my favorite books is by a guy, oh my gosh, why can't I think right now? Um, Matthew Ferry, and it's called Creating Sales Velocity.
Mm.
Creating sales velocity. How to get into the right frame of mind, the right energy to raise your frequency to be attractive to the right people. So sometimes too, we have limiting thoughts and beliefs, and this is just a little belief piece, but sometimes we have limiting thoughts and beliefs ourselves. Like, actually thinking that he has tons of money and not seeing the value in this is kind of a limiting belief actually on your part. Because what you might want to do
Mm.
is next time say, I'm starting a business and I'm very excited about it. I see this as a huge opportunity as a business owner and as a businessman, you may too, but I don't know. So you probably maybe need to stroke his ego a little bit more too, because you might talk to your blue in the face and he's not going to meet you at that level, that frequency, because you're still questioning why somebody with money would not do this, right? So this is like the frequency instead of the frequency lining up to what does he want,
I got you.
people where
Okay.
they're at. Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so I would dive in if you can. There's that one and also go for no. I like the book Go for No. It's
Oh,
an audiobook. Honestly, it's the quickest thing you could ever read, but it talks about going for no. And the sooner you release some of those things that bug you about that, you make space. It's like a vacuum. You make space for those that would say yes, because you're not holding on to the energy of somebody who said no and it didn't make sense to you.
yeah. It doesn't
Yeah.
make sense to me. He's supposed to be smarter, and
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't
Right.
compute in my head.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you for all
Yeah,
the
and so it's
information.
not, and when I say limiting belief, all I'm saying is that you have a a belief about him. So your energy is rejecting his energy. It's rejecting
Oh,
his thought process.
oh,
You're fighting it.
oh,
Yeah, don't fight it. You know what I mean? Yeah, so
wow.
like, and it's like Caroline too with the people with their smart ships, they don't get it. Why fight it?
Mm,
Find somebody who sees the value. Raise your frequency, raise your energy. And one thing I always say is I always win. Does that mean I always win? No. Sometimes I learn, but that learning is still a win.
mm,
Does that make sense? So
mhm.
like, it's okay. But I always say that my kids laugh at me all the time. I'm like, I always win. They're like, Mom, that's so arrogant. I'm like, I always win, baby, because
Mhm.
I know better, right?
Mm.
So if somebody doesn't align, they simply don't align. Not my problem. I won't fight it. I won't negate it. In fact, the less attention I give it, the more they come back. Got it?
Thank you. Yep. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah, so I'll put that in the chat too. Creating Sales Velocity, great book. And he talks a lot about real estate in it, but you guys, it is so applicable to what we do because you're in the people business here. You are absolutely leveraging human beings. Leveraging human beings, products, time. Time is the most valuable commodity. How much is your time worth? Right? So this is so interesting. Are you worth 15 bucks an hour? Are you worth 50 bucks an hour? Are you worth 85? Are you worth 150? Are you worth 250? How much value do you place on your time? Because I can tell you, you will not waste time on people who are behaving that way, right? Because your time is valuable. So, and you guys, it is very valuable. If you have said yes to this opportunity, I know that you can build a 6 and 7 figure income business in the pockets of your life in an hour a day when you get super intentional about who you reach out to, who you connect with, who you present with, who you follow up with, how you say it. I have this incredible business opportunity. I've got to run it past you. When can we jump on a quick call? That is a totally different energy. Then, hey, I've got this great product. I'd love for you to check it out. It's changed my life. Right? And it does. These products have changed my life. But I might not lead in with that if I'm looking for if I'm looking for a board of directors. And I might not take no for an answer. Right? I'd be like, no, 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 no. Listen, Dr. Starbuck, we have got to get on a phone call ASAP. Caroline, I'm talking to you. Listen, Dr. Starbuck, we have to get on a Zoom call now, not tomorrow, now. Okay, when? Now. No
Well,
time like the present.
I'm here in Maui, so
Yeah, get him, girl. I was thinking about you. We got to get intentional about that. It's got to be a little bit more exciting, right? Okay. All right, my friends, that is what I have for you today. We are at the top of the hour, went from 10 to almost 11. You guys asked beautiful questions. This will be recorded. It's on YouTube now on the Legacy Makers team. You're welcome to share this with your teams or use it as a permanent onboarding. Hopefully it was valuable. I am teaching you everything I know. There are no secrets. There's no secrets in this business. There's no team that knows something that you don't. Okay, there's no secrets. The secrets are always going to come back to the basics, whether you're using the app, you're using YouTube, you're using presenting links, you're doing one-on-ones, you're doing events, you're doing three-way calls, you're doing AI, whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is the results are going to come from the activity. So don't question why you haven't made it to 50 cycles yet. Ask yourself, what would I do today if I was earning 50 cycles? Who's the girl or the guy? What does that activity level look like? The one that earns 50 cycles that I might be able to do differently today. Who would I intentionally reach out to? Who do I know, like, and trust? Who understands this business? Who are other network marketers that might be disgruntled that if they came over here and saw what we have and they really got excited and they felt a part of our team, what would they be able to accomplish? Right? It's about who you know. Proximity is power. Proximity is power. Who are the most powerful people you know? Who are your best 10? Your best 10. Don't take no for an answer. Get them on with a team leader today. Okay? Let's get your business moving. It only takes 2 to build a 6 and 7 figure income here. You just need to find the right ones. So my friends, go to work today to do that. Send out 10 links, print out a new tracker form 30 if you haven't already yet. Fill it out. Okay, get intentional. Who's my best 10? I've got to get them on with a team leader ASAP. You don't want to miss this. Create some fear of missing out. It's very important that you do. Before the holidays kick in, I've got to get you on a call with my mentor. We're launching a new, or you can say a new. It doesn't have to be new, but a new for you. Launching new or fresh come the new year, but I've got to get you on before January. Okay. Stuff like that. All right, my friends, I adore you. If nobody's told you that they loved you yet today, I want you to know you are loved. You are in the energy of gratitude and you are in a great place. And the sky is truly, truly the limit. Whatever you desire, whatever you really want is within your power, is within your grasp now. Okay, go out and make it a great day. Use this as a guideline, gentle guideline. Keep going. Okay, love you guys. Have a great
Thank you. Love you
day.
too.
Welcome.
Bye.
See you later.